Welcome back to Making Video Your Business. Today I'm joined by the brilliant Rich Abbots, who many of you will know from Inventory Hive. Rich, nice to see you.
Hello, thanks for having me, Chris. Appreciate it.
Lovely to see you. Now, obviously, we've worked with you on a couple of projects previously.
We have indeed, yeah.
With your Inventory Hive head on.
That's it.
But today, you're going to talk to me a bit about Klerky, which is your new thing. So for anyone who doesn't know you, give us a bit of history about Inventory Hive and now Klerky.
So Inventory Hive is, I suppose, sounds a bit, a bit showy, but yeah, I'd say we're probably the market leading property inspections software on the market. We've been going now for about 8 years. It was originally born out of having bad experiences renting properties with my wife and I, and we looked into the market and decided we were going to set up a simple inventory app. That's where it started, but of course we soon realized there's no such thing, but we managed to get some universities on board, and it kind of snowballed to where we are today, where we're managing upwards of 700,000 properties on the platform, which is something we're immensely proud of. We've won awards. And
you work with some big brands.
Yeah, we work with some of the biggest brands.
Some of our faves.
Yeah, some of the biggest brands in in the industry, and in particular, last couple of years we've done really well in the build to rent space, because obviously it's an emerging market, particularly with the renters reform going through. There's a lot of uncertainty as well. So for us, that's been a really nice win. And yeah, we've got a fantastic team, but we knew a couple of years back that the issue of agents wanting to kind of in-house at times and then outsource, kind of like the hybrid approach where they can pick and choose at different times to do it themselves or to outsource it. We knew that was a big demand. And we know that it happens on the Hive platform already. Agents will invite their clerks into the platform. So we wanted to build a way that we could make that as effortless as possible for them. And we did a lot of research with, inspection companies, and we wanted to work out, what was it for them that they struggled with in terms of their day-to-day, was, in terms of their admin, in terms of winning new business. There's lots of challenges and headaches that they have. I mean, firstly, they don't have a lot of resource, financial resource or technical resource. So we wanted a way in which we could help them grow. And also just streamline what they're doing with their existing customers, and hence the concept was born to build Klerky. And we were very fortunate that we've had a good partnership with the TDS as well. Over the past few years.
Household name, obviously.
So yeah, I mean, the TDS have been fantastic partners to work with. And they invested, in the business on the premise that we go and build the Klerky marketplace.
Awesome.
And so the vision for it as well was it would be a standalone marketplace. So whilst it will integrate in time with Inventory Hive, we don't want to restrict anybody to having to use Inventory Hive. The idea is they can use any inspection software they want to go and do their reports, but then they've got this standalone platform to help them manage their day-to-day, to win new business, because of course it's going to get a lot of reach out in the market, which is something that I think they often struggle with, being able to do that. But of course, the trust and safety features you'd expect to have with the marketplace, so making sure those inventory companies are insured, where they're qualified, that we record all that information, and also having like a built-in reviews process as well. It's something that they really struggle with. You'll see a lot of inspection company websites that'll have a testimonial, but it does look a bit contrived. I'm not saying it's not a real product,
of course,
but
you can buy things like that, can't you?
You can
buy reviews, you can buy things, and I think that's why I'm a big fan of video reviews, obviously. Because you're putting real faces to names. That's why I'm a huge advocate for video reviews. That's why I'm a big advocate for people putting themselves, like you have done in the past, in front of Lens. Mitch as well, who
outside the compass with that.
You and Mitch, who are it gives a lot of credibility, a lot of validity to your business when you put new faces in front of camera.
Definitely.
So where do you think Klerky solves a problem then? In terms of, because one of my mates, one of your friends, a guy called Chris Watkin, big property and market influencer, he always says that a lot of prop tech solves problems that don't exist. So is Klerky solving a problem that doesn't exist?
That's a really good question. I think that there is a big problem out there in the market on both sides. So I suppose when I answer this question, it's kind of like twofold, isn't it? You've got, your property managers that are looking to do, to sort of manage their day to day.
Yeah.
Now, for them, I think the big problem for them is firstly, it's finding a company to come and do it for them.
Yeah.
If they're looking to find somebody, where do they start? What do they look for? I mean, it could be a Google review that, they go onto Google, they try and find somebody, but they don't necessarily know what it is that they're looking for.
I mean, I guess referrals are tough. I guess people don't really refer, do they?
No, they don't. And I mean, if you're looking for someone to come and do a gas safety cert, you need someone that's gas safe registered. But the inventory industry isn't regulated as such in that way, so they often don't really know what it is they're looking for. But then, of course, you find that on the other side of the coin, the suppliers don't necessarily have that infrastructure in place where they can have a portal where they can receive bookings and get reviews when their jobs are completed and have all that process pretty seamless. And so that's what Klerky sets about solving. At the moment, they're doing emails, phone calls, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the phone call, but the problems arise when a booking doesn't have any history behind it.
There's no documentation, is there?
There isn't, no. And that's what Klerky helps to provide. It provides a way in which an agent can book their jobs through, but then look back at the history of them. Brilliant. So, for example, a common issue that happens is, let's say an agent books an inventory and the clerk goes out and they can't get a meter reading because it's locked away in a cupboard. They might have that verbal conversation, but 12 months down the line when the tenant moves out and there's no meter reading, they go, well, you didn't do that and that's your fault. Whereas the inbuilt messenger on the system enables them to have a trail of what happened outside of that report. At the moment, everything's done by email. I want to book an inventory in, but then there's so much information about where they're collecting the keys, where the meters are, something that really, surprisingly, there isn't a tool that enables an inventory company to pick up a platform like Klerky independently and use it in its own right.
Sounds great.
Yeah, I mean, for suppliers,
when does it launch?
It's the 8th of April is the public sort of reveal.
So so it may, depending on when this podcast comes out, it may or may not have launched already.
Yes, it may or may not.
I mean, I would imagine it probably has.
Yeah.
This podcast comes out.
And I think the other side of that as well is when it does go out to the masses. We are being very specific with this. We're focusing on the Greater Manchester area initially to start with, and that's just from all the homework we've done. Launching any kind of marketplace, it makes sense to focus in a certain area because we've got the suppliers ready in that location. We also have good agency coverage and build to rent coverage. I mean, we have 12,000 units alone in build to rent through the Hive network. Through the vast majority of the sort of flagship build to rent sites are using Inventory Hive. So again, those sites, they're all in-house at times using a platform like Hive, but as their sort of refurbishment cycles become a bit more disjointed, shall we say, because tenants come and go at different times, they're going to want to outsource as well as in-house. So that's where the relationship between Hive and Klerky sort of comes to the fore, really.
Amazing.
Giving them those opportunities.
Amazing. So this podcast, thanks for that. It's really great. Sounds great. But this podcast obviously is about visuals podcast. We talk to business owners, like yourself, talking about how you can leverage visuals for your business. How are you adopting a sort of visual strategy? What sort of video content are you putting together around the launch?
PVS has been powerful for us with Hive in the past.
We've worked with you before. Yeah, for transparency, we've worked with you before.
Yeah, I mean, a key thing for us with Hive was obviously using the app. And it's very difficult to have somebody in a setting using it in a real world environment in a property with the app alongside it, and we worked with you guys for that, and it just worked really, really well. So hence coming along today and introducing what we're doing, sort of explaining it, and then having the features alongside it. There's a fine line, isn't it? Because first of all, you want to get across what problem are you solving. Why does this new platform exist? What's the point? But then it's also saying, right, by the way, on a granular level, here are the features that go alongside it. So we've got a lot of sort of internally recording a lot of videos that's very sort of guided. But I think the key thing with Klerky it is a really simple to use platform, which we're quite excited about, because with Hive, as simple as it is to use, we still have to train people to work offline, and the concept of syncing up and down when they've got no signal in a property. And there are some basic concepts you need to introduce, whereas with Klerky, we've gone for like a price comparison website. You can go on, you don't need any training, you can put your bookings through, really simple. So we put a lot of effort into that. It's been a labour of love to get it where it is.
Why do you think videos become so important, in terms of not just Klerky, but, just generally when you're launching new product and you're actually thinking more seriously about mass market? Why do you think visuals have become such a vital part of that?
Yeah, I think for us, I think that the visual side of things is really important, because people, the prop tech space is hyper competitive nowadays.
Yeah, there's a lot of it.
Yeah, and I think usability is a really important thing. I mean, there's the sort of platforms out there that I admire quite a lot. The likes of Street, those guys do their visuals really well. They do it really well. I mean, apart from the fact, the usability of the platform looks fantastic, but I think they convey the usability of it really well in the content that they do. And that's obviously something that we're trying to aspire to with with the Klerky launch.
Do you find it easy to get in front of lens?
No, not really. No, I think it's the kind of thing that I think the more you do of it, the more comfortable you become.
You seem fine in this environment.
Yeah, I think so. But I think it's a comfort zone thing, isn't it? And I think you've got to be prepared to put yourself outside your comfort zone. And I feel like the past couple of years have been a bit of a hermit, because we've been
Mitch has been sort of happy to do front stuff, and you've been less visible.
Yeah, which has been I think an intentional thing on my side, because of what we were doing with Klerky. So I knew that my time was going to be spread thin, and there's also lots of other things that we've put in place the last couple of years, like it's not sexy or exciting, but it's key. It's like information security. So we do like ISO 27001. So that's been a big investment in my time, trying to set it up, and that's what I tend to do, really try and work on things, set them up, and then kind of step back a bit. And having great people like Mitch on the team enables you to do that, because those guys are prepared to put themselves outside the comfort zone.
He's just a brilliant human.
Yeah, he's a legend. Yeah.
I just love his face. He's just such a nice man.
Yeah, he's great to be around, and he's super switched on as well. And I look in all areas of the business, really. A big shout out to George, who's off camera, but he's here today. And what he's done with Klerky in terms of his role changed into becoming a product owner, and he just has done such an amazing job of it. And he's really passionate. And then people like Alex Gooch on the who's really smashed that build to rent space and been really passionate and when you have good people like that, you entrust them to run with it. And of course the other bit that they never really get a mention publicly, I don't think sometimes, but the development team, on both Hive and on Klerky, these are people that are sweating the code day to day, often having to work out of hours. I think it's having good people, and then, trusting them to, not telling them what to do, isn't it? I think it was Steve Jobs' quote once: you don't employ clever people and tell them what to do. It's the other way around.
I like that. I like that. What's your advice for businesses thinking about a more visual strategy? What would your advice be, your tips for making visuals for their business? It
depends. I mean, when we're looking at the Klerky side, it's kind of how do we convey the problem, the solution to the problem. That's the hard part, isn't it? Yeah. And I think if you can do that, then I think you're onto a winner, really. It's identifying that, but I suppose it's also about making it interesting for the audience. So I don't think I'm an expert at this stuff by any means. I think I could do more. I could engage more with video. Hopefully now we're getting Klerky out there. I can do it a little bit more. But,
Have you used any video tools aside from? I know you have, because you sent me one. But have you used any video tools that you would sort of say for people who are thinking about starting to adopt a more visual strategy? Anything that you've adopted that's entry level that you think, do you know what, for nothing or for low cost, that's a really good tool? Yeah, definitely. I think Loom for us as a business has been a fantastic tool. Big fan. Yeah, it's been really great. I mean, it's that thing, isn't it? Sometimes, with remote working, you don't want to become too much of a hermit, but equally sometimes you don't want to have meetings
for meeting's sake. And so if I can record a quick 3-5 minute video talking somebody through a screen, showing them how it works, and that's the great thing about Loom, you know, you can just have it as a Chrome extension on your browser, or just click a button, it starts recording the screen, it gets you in as well. And I think it also helps you overcome, particularly for us as a software business, if you do a worded response, sometimes things can get a little bit lost, whereas you know, it's more about trying to coach people, isn't it, with that stuff. But yeah, definitely recommend Loom for anyone that's never looked at it.
Awesome. A couple of fun ones, because you know I like to have a bit of fun with my podcast.
Yeah, go for it.
Do you have a favourite movie?
Forrest Gump.
It's a great choice.
Yeah,
we had this conversation. We were on our way to a job the other day. We were doing some filming in some schools, and we were talking about Tom Hanks.
Yes.
And
the only thing is, he's a Villa fan, which isn't great, because I'm a Blue nose. So.
Give you, what's your favourite? What's your favourite Hanks movie, or whatever. Yeah. And it's such a tough call, because he's made so many great movies.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's got to be Gump, hasn't it?
I mean,
all day long.
Maybe. I reckon Road to Perdition gets like a.
I've not seen it.
It's such a great movie.
I'm ashamed to say.
Joe and the Volcano's lowbrow.
Okay,
but no, a big fan. Lowbrow. But yeah, maybe Big.
Yeah, Big was a classic. You can't put that on Gump.
Apollo 13. Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah. Saving Private Ryan was a good one, but yeah, no. You got to go with Gump.
I watched a new movie of his recently on Apple TV. It's called Finch.
Okay.
That's quite good. So that's a recommendation from me.
Yeah, we'll have to.
Do you like a box set?
Yeah, but I don't have time. that's my problem. Like with the kids and the dogs, life and business.
So no box set for you?
No. I think I'm trying to think of the last box set I watched was, and this shows, because this is a long time. Line of Duty was.
Great.
Yeah, you can't beat it.
It's excellent.
I think they're talking about bringing some of them back. Which
Adolescence now on Netflix, incredible. It's getting rave reviews.
Okay.
The cinematography is next level, because every episode shot in one shot.
I'll have to look at that.
So single shot, single camera, it doesn't cut all the way through the episode. So it's from our perspective, thrilling. Yeah. Because we're like, ooh, that's very technical.
Yeah, that's when you get.
That's when I get really geeky about that. Yeah. Okay. Rich, thanks so much for your time.
Pleasure.
I wish you and Inventory Hive continued success, and Klerky new. So I wish that success.
Yep.
And hopefully you'll be back to see us soon.
Yep. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Cheers, mate.